All right, so this will be the final demo in this video set. I'm going to combine. I'm going to give you a 2-for-1. I'm going to give you the workflow comparison and the risk analysis. This should be pretty brief. We did most of the heavy lifting in the workflow mapping in the last module, where we captured the current cost of each step. Now we're going to do a comparison. All right. So basically, we want to take this same information here and compare it to what your solution or service, how it would impact this particular workflow. Okay. So look at the differences here. And again, you just still edit through the same button here. And so if I want to edit, you can change your frequency, just, plus or minus pretty quick, or you can key it in whichever one you want, duration in hours, number of people, and then the cost of people executing. All right. And so again, this is what your solution will do for that business. Okay. This is the current state. This is how you're going to improve. And how you get this is just, you got to know your business, right? You got to know your solution. You have to have some case studies, right? Or you could even go out and look for some um, benchmark data, right, on the web. You can use AI, but again, I know based on my solution what percentage it would impact. And so, look, it's going to be the same number of people, right? The cost is the same. They don't change on people unless you're going to reduce the people, of course, but the hourly amount stays the same. Okay. Frequency is where the big change happens. So rather than them doing this process necessarily 60 times a year, my solutions allows them to do it 36 times per year, right? Or let's keep it the same and we'll just change duration, right? So maybe they still have to do it the same number of times per year, right? It stays 60. So that doesn't change. So these are static. Number of people, cost, frequency is the same. The difference is I'm reducing their time to execute that process from 40 hours to 16 hours. And the fact that we kept that frequency the same, it actually increased the proposed reduction, right? So you're going from a current cost of 360 for that step down to 144. Same all the way down, right? You update where you need it. What's the impact area? Are you impacting people? Are you reducing, helping them to say, hey, you don't need 2 people to do this process. Maybe you need 1. You reduce headcount or reallocate headcount, repurpose headcount to some other area of the business or some other duty, right? So they can do, everyone talks about doing more with less, right? So maybe it allows you to do this process with 1 fewer person. Cost is still the same as far as the hourly rate. Frequency is still the same, but I'm reducing their duration from 160 to 120, right? This is where you've got to work with your team, maybe your solutions engineers, maybe your sales manager, but these numbers are not hard to come by, right? But you see all the way down the comparison, and then we'll get down to the bottom where it shows the overall impact. Current cost of what they're doing today. This is what our proposed cost would be, and this is what we're reducing it by, just in that one workflow. Imagine if they have 5 or 10 or 20 different workflows, right? It's just all about what you're impacting. But a 44% reduction is massive. And you break it down in each and every step. Imagine showing an operations manager, a COO or CFO this right here. This is a blind spot. This is something they cannot see on their own. Typically, I've not run into a company that had these metrics broken down in this much detail. Because again, they look at efficiency as a concept, not a metric. Efficiency is a metric, and this is how you measure it. Okay? So do this with as many workflows, as many steps as you need to. And then finally, you've got the risk analysis. And again, basically, this is more for you and your manager to take a look at. You want to de-risk your deal as much as possible. If you can get this score to 0, excellent. 4, I mean, you're still in pretty good shape, but I would still give attention to it. If you're above 4 in the risk score, that means you're missing something in here. You're missing something in your pre-call, your discovery, your workflow, something. You're leaving money on the table, basically. Okay. And then here, when it comes to gross revenue risk, this is how your score will increase too. So let's say, hey, the price of my solution is 160,000. I'm discounting 35%. Well, that gives me a risk score of 2. It's not bad, but look how much money you're leaving on the table. And you don't have to. You don't have to leave this much money on the table, because based on your workflow comparison, you're saving them 600,000. So why would you discount 35%? That's what I'm saying. When we discount, it's a lack of measurable value. But the closer you can get to measurable value, the less you're going to have to discount, because now you can justify the spend, right? You can justify the spend of your solution. Again, if your solution's 160, I mean, you're almost 6x. You know what I mean? Like 5, 6x. I mean, you're 600,000. So you're in good shape. But I mean, you can take this all the way up to billions, $1 billion, whatever, whatever the number is. But just be mindful as you discount more. That's going to create a problem, right? That's going to increase your risk score, a revenue risk, right? There's 4 different areas of risk. There's quantitative value risk. Where are we there? We got a risk score of 3. So our quantitative value is kind of creeping up there. We want to be mindful. Shareholder value perception risk, we're a 3. Revenue risk, we're a 3. Competitive risk, we're a 3. Like, we're not in the danger zone, but again, it's just something you want to be mindful of. And the more you can see, right, the more visibility you have, the better decisions you can make. Okay. And so, like I said before, if I want to take this workflow comparison and I want to drop that into a PDF, I can do that pretty easily, right? And I can download this PDF, throw it into a chat GPT, and it'll use this to create a business case for me, right? And you can do that for any module, anything you've captured. You want to do workflow maps, standard discovery. I suggest going from your pre-call planning, grab that PDF, discovery questions, workflow maps. I would suggest grabbing all 4 of these and then just telling ChatGPT or whatever AI you want to use, hey, create a workflow map for me. I mean, a business case for me. And if you go back to that video too, where it was talking about mastering business narratives, that output is what you will come up with. Okay. That's what you're going to be able to present to your stakeholders. And that, I assure you, will increase your deal velocity, increase your revenue, and it will separate you from the competition. So thank you for viewing these demos. Let us know if you have any questions, or feel free to just sign up. I mean, this tool is very, very easy and simple to sign up. You can subscribe pretty easily at any time. So I look forward to hearing your feedback.